Das ist aber richtig gruselig. Streaming. Hey, ich hoffe, es klappt. Es verzögert, ne? Mhm. Schau, das ist aber normal. Hört man mich? Ja, man hört mich, ne? Müsste ausgeschlagen. Ja, gleich. Noch steht da sehr gute Verbindung. Ja, 2 Minuten noch. Freut mich auf jeden Fall, dass ihr einschaltet. Je nachdem, wer gerade online ist, da ist. Ich bin gespannt, weil ich weiß nämlich nicht, was kommen mag. Cyberpunk ist immer so geil, also von daher habe ich mir einfach gesagt, ach komm, schaust du dir die zweiten Gameplay-Trailer auch mal an. Fehler, YouTube empfängt nicht genügend Videodateien, um ein flüssiges Streaming ohne Zwischenspeicher gewährleisten zu können. Widget öffnen. Ja, toll. Das hilft mir auch sehr, sehr gut weiter. Ich lasse es aber einfach mal so laufen. Vielleicht ist das ja normal. Vielleicht bei euch hängt das bei euch auch immer. Das ist natürlich scheiße. Aber er nimmt das ja auch auf, ne? Sehe ich gerade. Guck mal. Er nimmt das ja auch auf. Wo haben wir es denn? Wo haben wir es? Da, es nimmt er auf. Okay. Also falls das scheiße ist, dann 1080. Weil 1080 Beste ist. 9, 6, 5. Ich habe jetzt hier Regen. Wollte ich mal probieren. Boah, jetzt geben die aber die Geschenke. Man sieht auch den Chat jetzt auch. Das ist mein Chat, ne? Nice. Ah, da ist sie ja wieder. Meine Freundin.
Cyberpunk 2077. In today's episode, we're going to be deep diving into life paths and showing you a brand new gameplay video, as well as having a chat to Philip from our quest team. Then we're going behind the scenes and taking a look at how Refused are bringing the band Samurai to life. And then we're showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City. So let's get started.
Hat man nicht den letzten Mal Deutsch Untertitel? Ich weiß gar nicht. Ja, ne? Na, egal. Es soll mir doch egal sein. Choose your character victory. Nomad, Street Kid und Corpo.
Who do we have here? Grew up in Haywood. The whole street was my family. Neighbors helped each other out. Thought nothing of it.
I'm pleased to see you have not forgotten your roots.
Born here, live here, die here.
Childhood memories, hopping buildings, running away from badges, iron tasted blood from his split lip. Motherfucker. Got everybody fighting for a slice of the street.
Get the fuck out of Vista.
If you keep getting jumped, you find some stronger choosers.
Do you want to spend the rest of your days blasting scabs? Or become a legend overnight?
We have arrived. The Major.
Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on.
My childhood? Let's see. Racing my bobber for the first time through the hills.
Nomade ist wahrscheinlich alleine.
First kiss in the middle of a synth cornfield.
Alleine unter Leuten.
We nomads choose who make our family. And choice forges strong bonds.
Boah, es hat echt GTA-Vibes, ne? Schreibschau.
That's why I'm headed for Night City. Makes you an outcast.
Ich folg die doch mal.
Miss this, you know?
Ich folg die doch!
I know.
Ach, leck mich doch am Arsch.
Saw it in your heart the first time.
Das dauert, ne? Zeit.
You know what I always liked about nomads?
Kona.
Your taste, no, hunger for freedom. Not easy to come by in that city. Corpse got their grubby claws and everything.
Corpo.
Those reports you asked for.
They were supposed to be ready yesterday.
The world's going to tear us apart when the word gets around.
The world's never going to find out.
If I go down, you're going down with me. No, I'm not fucking joking.
This isn't a request, V.
But no way you're fucked, right? You're the one who fixes other people's shit.
If you work in Arasaka counter intel, you're always fucked.
Today, they got you to zero somebody. Tomorrow, they'll get somebody else to zero you.
It's the rules, Jack. Want to be top? Gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah, but you're not on top. It's a borough Arasaka is. And you're the pendejo who keeps it there. Work for yourself, live for yourself. That's the only way.
Das sieht mega sick aus. 19. November.
Philip, it is so good to see you again. It's actually been a while since
Das
I've had a
sieht
chance to
mega sick aus.
Cyberpunk. So I think for today we'll start with a question that everybody wants to know. How does the path you pick affect your time?
Ich weiß gar nicht, ob die verschoben haben. Weil- Hat nicht September? Nee, Quatsch, das wurde ja verschoben, ne? Vom letzten Mal. Ist ja genau ein Tag vor der PlayStation.
You know the streets, you know the gangs, you know the slang, you kind of know what's going on in the, let's say, lower life aspect of the city, which can of course...
Oder 3 Tage vor der PlayStation, ne? Ich glaube 22. oder 20. kommt die.
But if you start as a nomad, you actually used to be part of a nomad clan and a nomad family, because nomads that roam the deserts around Night City that we call the Badlands actually...
Ah, das sieht so geil aus. Ich will es haben. Ich will es haben. Ich bin verliebt. Hat er was von Wage, ne? 2067. 2071. Das ist schon cool gemacht einfach. Also, Ideen haben die das polnische Studio.
So this isn't just about the start of the game. Can you maybe help people understand how this translates into the gameplay?
Yeah, so the thing is, we make Cyberpunk a real RPG, and part of that is that you can play your character from the start to the end. And of course, you know, we have these life paths affecting the beginning of the game, but we wanted to make it so you have your life path opportunities throughout the whole game.
Toll, das Live-Bild steht die ganze Zeit.
And as an example, we do that by giving you additional options in dialogues. So I can give you one specific example. And this is a mission where you have to steal a flathead robot from the Maelstrom gang. Basically, those Maelstromers stole that flathead before from a corporate transport, and the owner of that corporate transport, Meredith Stout, wants you to do something else. And this is an optional objective. And even within that objective, we want to give you some options. So as an example, if you have a corporate life path, you basically know what Meredith Stout is really about. You can read between the lines, and you can get some additional options that maybe actually later enable you to do a completely different thing with the Maelstrom gang. And if you're a nomad, you know exactly some more details about how these Maelstromers would have even been able to steal a robot like that from Meredith Stout, who's part of the very powerful Militech Corporation. As a street kid, we as an example don't give you a specific new dialogue option in that dialogue, because as a street kid, you do not have a lot of experience dealing with higher up people like Meredith Stout. But we want to give you additional options that fit your life path very well. So later when you actually talk to the Maelstrom gang, one member of the gang offers you some illegal substance, but as a street kid, you actually know what this is about. You can talk some shop with him, and that might actually make that character like you a little bit more.
So Philip, I do have a couple of extra questions for you based on the video we just saw. And the first is about the nomads. So the nomad life path, this starts in a place called the Badlands. Is this somewhere you get to visit even if you don't pick nomads to start with?
Alter, sieht das geil aus.
The thing is, Night City is surrounded by this huge landscape that we call the Badlands, and you can go there whenever you want. So as an example, if you actually do play the nomad life path at the start and you are in the Badlands, you can even see Night City on the horizon. And we want to give you the option later in the game, if you want, you can just take your car and drive out of the city. You can go there whenever you want. The thing is, you might not want to, because the Badlands can be a pretty dangerous place at first, because time has not been very kind to the Badlands. There have been many wars in the past, there's global warming, so most people that do live out there don't really have another choice about it, or are nomads that love this life and are all about it and are very battle-hardened. We of course also want to tell their stories, because we want to tell many different stories throughout the Cyberpunk genre, which means that you will also find missions that lead you out in the Badlands or where you deal with the people living there.
Das sieht vielleicht bei euch nicht so krass aus, weil ich ja das ist ja von Twitch gerendert und die Grafik ist nochmal gerendert von mir. Deswegen sieht das nicht so krass aus. Also die ist dreifach verschlechtert worden, sagen wir es mal so. Zum einen von denen einmal gerendert, das ist dann wiederum gerendert von mir und dann auf YouTube hochzuladen ist noch schlechtere Qualität. Ist immer so. Ist leider so. Ist aber immer so. Gibt's Straßenrennen? Boah, geil.
So specifically Padre, you might know him as a street kid, but even if you played other life paths, you might sooner or later meet him because he's operating in Haywood, which is a pretty big place with many good jobs. So if you want to make some cash there, you will sooner or later deal with Padre.
Die sollen mal mehr über Ken Weavis zeigen.
Now on my first playthrough, pretty sure I'm going to be picking Nomad, but for those watching, we would love to know what you'll be picking. So have a think about it and send us a tweet. Don't forget that later in this episode, we're going to be showing you a
New weapon.
gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be actually
Wie die alle sich schon entscheiden. Nomad, Corpo, Nomad.
because music plays a huge
Die meisten wollen Corpo, wa?
Now, in future episodes, we're going to talk about things like radio stations and even the original score. But today, we're going to take a look behind the scenes at how Refuse to bringing Johnny Silverhand's band Samurai to life.
I wouldn't write these lyrics for myself.
Gema, Alex Supreme Samurai. Gema. Alexa, wie heißt das Lied?
Catch a language that is and try to catch a language that's like harmless game.
Nein, war es nicht.
There there's a reason why we're here.
Boah, die Grafik, Alter. Heftig. Jetzt wird...
Piotr maybe who was a fan of the band, he knew Refuse and he knew my voice and he said, oh, that's a perfect voice for Johnny.
Ich folge die doch. Soll ich die nicht mehr folgen? Achso. Nein.
I guess a sound that was a bit contemporary from when Johnny's supposed to have had the band, because he's sort of like an anti-establishment kind of guy.
Gonna drag a corporal right on stage, make him kneel, douse him with gas, then light him up.
So of course there are things that you can relate to, and like
Kann auch,
rebel that's fighting against like the corporalism. That's definitely something that's been a part of my life and a part of the Refuse life.
We came out of the punk rock scene of
so, ich kann das auch machen.
Future version of us. So I think it makes sense. I think it totally makes sense for us to be here making these songs about him or for him. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No drills. But yeah, but like why?
So.
We don't have a different mode and just going all in. So we've really worked on these songs, trying to make them as good as possible. But then they're not actually our songs.
It's interesting as a musician to play another musician, because that's essentially what we're doing. I mean, we're not here as Refuse, we're here as Samurai. And I'm here as Johnny. And so
Oh, Keanu.
we're representing here as someone else.
It's been mind.
Okay. Die haben extra so eine Band da reingebaut. Und Keanu Reeves. Sweden. Parasite Studio. Ist am Schlafen.
I mean, the shouting in itself is just like second nature to me, because I've been doing this for a very long time. But then when someone comes in and says,
I'm happy with everything except for Azalin. Again, it's Azza. Azza. Okay.
Shouting is great, but think of that accent. Think of that like enunciation.
So, ich habe gerade nochmal die Kamera ein bisschen verbessert. Es ist irgendwie kacke gemacht worden hier.
It's hard to sort of
Swallowing some
So.
adjust your accent.
Oh yeah, just try it again.
So it's been a bit kind of frustrating.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great.
But I mean, I get it. I mean, we have to maintain the illusion that
Ich kenne die Band gar nicht.
that's a character of the game also is me, like when I'm singing. So it makes sense. But yeah, it's a bit different to have someone telling you exactly how to enunciate things. Because I'm not usually people are just like giving thumbs up and they're like.
Ist Keanu da nur in der Band drin oder kann man ja auch so, wahrscheinlich ist das auch so ein Charakter, den man öfters sieht, ne?
Weird. I'm like, well, I know that's how I sing. But so it's been a very yeah, a bit painful at times. But it's alright.
Ach, der Sound kam mir so bekannt vor.
As a person that's not a gamer, I don't think I fully understand the impact that this might have.
Was, ihr seid keine Gamer?
Songs, and if people are excited, then that's gonna be great. I mean, we are spending a lot of times trying to get this right, trying to get it to sound like, you know, like Samurai would sound, you know. So it's quite interesting. It's a very different way of making music, actually.
Cyberpunk. Ich glaube, es kommt am 19. November raus.
Samurai tracks available on streaming services, Chipping In, Never Fade Away, and the Ballad of Buck Raiders. But we're excited to announce a fourth new song called Unlike Supreme, which is coming
Das will jetzt meine Freundin.
today. That means you can check it out once the show is over. Don't forget that if you're tuning in late or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channel soon. Next up, Pavel and I are going to introduce you to some creative ways that you can solve problems in Night City.
Und später es kommt noch eine dritte Episode. Ich finde es auch cool, dass sie sowas machen. Als Ausgleich, dass die das Spiel mal verschoben haben, können wir vorher auch schon ein paar Sachen sehen. Das ist cool gemacht. Es war blöd, dass ich nicht selber zocken könnte, aber boah, Katana. Katana ist geil, wa? Kannst du denn deine Waffe selber zusammenbauen? Katana. Nice. Ich glaube, das Katana benutzt haben wir öfters. Was ist das? Boah, nice. Das will ich auch immer benutzen. Alter. Gehackschnitzeltes Gorilla-Arms. Ich glaube, das ist so eine Standardwaffe, ne? Also die man von Beginn an hat.
Yeah, I'm in.
19. November. Ich glaube, es kommt am 19. November. Ich bin mir nicht sicher. Hör, das ist ein Kind. Wer ist denn das Kind rechts? Hey, das Kind hat eine männliche Stimme. Was ist denn da los?
I think just for today's episode we should keep it simple and let's just talk about guns. Can you tell us the different types of guns that will be in the game?
So we have 3 distinct types of guns in our game. We have
Junge, den Secret Lab.
tech weapons and we have smart weapons.
Es gibt das Secret Lab Cyberpunk-Stuhl.
Temporary weapons. One thing they can do, which normal
Das sieht so krass aus, ne?
bullets off of surfaces. So you can hit somebody hiding behind cover or hiding behind a wall. Now tech weapons
Ich wünsche mir, ich habe jetzt nicht so viele Story-Sequenzen gesehen. Dass das Sequenzen gibt. Ich hoffe es. Ich meine, bei The Witcher ist es ja auch so.
Smart weapons use guided missile technology to actually track targets in real time. So you can hit somebody who's dodging, running away from you, or you can hit somebody.
Ich denke mal, die zeigen eh so nicht die Story, also Sequenzen, weil man sich nicht spoilern lassen will. Deswegen. Die zeigen jetzt so Waffen, Autos und. So die Kleinigkeiten zeigen sie einfach mal. Wobei die auch schön sind.
We've spent a considerable amount of time merging the RPG and FPP side of our game. What the player will experience is that V changes from a small-time mercenary to a legend in the world of Night City. V becomes more and more proficient in using weapons as the game progresses. So they will see that reload times become shorter, the accuracy of your weapons grows, you will have faster aiming time, you will move faster with your weapons, everything becomes more in your control, and that gives you more opportunities to defeat the biggest encounters that we've designed for you.
So I have prepared a few extra questions for you, Pavel, if you're feeling up to it.
Of course.
Okay, well the first is going to be, how do you find more weapons in Night City? Like, where will players be looking for them?
So I expect the players
Wie viele Waffen gibt es überhaupt?
everywhere for new and exciting weapons.
Insgesamt
You
von
can of
allem.
course buy weapons at vendor shops, and they will house an entire catalog of weaponry that you can get. However, the best weapons that you can
Weiß man nicht.
find will be taken from
Wahrscheinlich kommen auch immer welche neu dazu, ne?
everywhere in Night City. The weapons rarities range from common through uncommon up to rare and then legendary. And as they go in rarity, they actually climb in power. However, legendary weapons are very specific in such a way that they possess unique abilities that you will find on no other weapons in the game. The players will actually need to make some tough choices to find some legendary weapons, because maybe they need to choose whether to kill a person who holds the legendary weapons that they want, or to spare them because they like them as a character.
So next question, let's talk about weapon modifications. What mods can people give to their weapons in Night City?
So we have two types of modifications in the game. One of them would be modifications that we call attachments. So these would be scopes
Ist asynchron, ne?
attached to your weapon as you're playing the game. They give you statistics advantage, and they give you more opportunities in gameplay. The other part of mods would be software mods. Now these are basically small chips that you install in your weapon, and they actually change the statistics of the gun. They
Ja, ja. Ja, ja.
So they can give you non-lethal rounds, biochemical rounds to armor even faster. So I suppose for my final question, why don't you tell us about your favorite weapon then? Which is your favorite weapon so far in Night City?
Oh, there are so many weapons that it's hard to choose just one, but I can mention some manufacturers with their weapons that I absolutely adore. The first manufacturer would be Tsunami Defense Systems, who produces the sniper rifle Nekomata. That's a tech sniper rifle. That means that it can pierce through walls. So you can actually hit somebody who's hiding behind cover or who doesn't even know you're there. Of course, I also like a close quarters approach. And what that needs is a shotgun. One of the shotguns that we have in the game is Budget Arms Carnage. Now that thing is cast from pure steel and it weighs a ton. However, you can cut a person clean in half with it. Another shotgun that I absolutely love, it's for a more refined approach, I would say, is a smart shotgun, Kangtao Zhuo. That thing has 8 barrels, and that means it can track 8 targets independently. Now, killing an entire room was never simpler.
Pavel, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I'm actually pretty interested to see what kind of weapons people discover when they play Cyberpunk for themselves. Before we end episode 2, this is a reminder that those who wish to dive deeper into a lore can now pick up The World of Cyberpunk 2077. This is a brand new book created in collaboration with Dark Horse Books that will give you an extensive look at what makes Night City tick before jumping into the game this November. That is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channels shortly. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back with Night City Wire Episode 3 soon.
Wann denn? Sagen Sie mir, nicht immer so kurzfristige Datumen. 19. November, so ja. Aber die sieht cool aus. See you again next time. Ja, da bin ich auch dabei, ne? Guck mal, ne? Müsste auf jeden Fall vor November kommen. Jo. Von meiner Seite aus war cool, ne? War schön. Und ich würde sagen, wir sehen uns dann, je nachdem, was sie gerade anschaltet, wieder. Ich werde das direkt mal schneiden und dann hochladen. Je nachdem, ich glaube, die Live-Aufnahme ist ja gedamaged. Keine Ahnung, es geht bei mir nicht. Ich hatte nämlich eben wieder OBS ein bisschen verfeinert, aber trotzdem nichts klappt bei mir. Nichts. Obwohl ich gar nicht mal so üble PC habe. Ich weiß nicht, woran das liegt. Alexa, woran hat es hier gelegen?
Ah gut. Das ist natürlich immer so die Frage. Ich sag natürlich immer, woran hat's gelegen. Das fragt man sich nachher natürlich immer, woran's gelegen hat.
Woran hat's...
Ich sag immer, woran's gelegen hat, fragt sich immer.
Was ist mit der? Spricht die denn so schnell? Alexa, ein bisschen langsamer.
Ich bin mir leider nicht sicher.
Ja, das glaube ich auch. Alexa, erzähl mir einen Witz.
Warum liebt der Gamer Unwetter? Weil er dann keine Ausreden braucht, um drinnen zu bleiben.
Warum braucht der Gamer? Alexa, wiederhol nochmal den Witz.
Warum liebt der Gamer Unwetter? Weil er dann keine Ausreden braucht, um drinnen zu bleiben.
Warum liebt der Gamer Unwetter, weil er dann keine Ausreden hat, drin zu bleiben? Das ist true. Das ist true. Alexa, sag Tschüss.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.